Tell me how, I got nothing to say. Tell me why my tombstone is blank. 'Cause I'm not the one who won't try. I'm not letting life pass me by. And tell me when the days are less gray. And tell me where is the road to less pain. How many days before I decay? It's getting so hard to get by. Where are all my trophies in life? And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. Set to sail to a place I can't say. Live a life worthy of chase. The time is today. New blood in my veins. I won't be the joker in life, playing the part I don't like. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. Yeah. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. 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 Young and hungry for life.
Oh, my goodness. Monday Night Raw, man. Boston, Massachusetts. John Cena One of 4 appearances left for the WWE. How do we celebrate? Let's just give him the Intercontinental Championship. John Cena won the IC title tonight from Dominik Mysterio. And we have a lot more questions than answers. William Regal tonight announced War Games. I don't think CM Punk would have had it any other way. We got the team set, but they're not complete. There's a couple of noticeable absentees. Los Angeles night. What? Yeah. And the women's War Games, don't get me started, man. Don't get me started. We're already off to a terrible start because Nia Jax would rather reveal her puppies than get us excited about a women's War Games match. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 35 degrees in New York City. I don't know what the hell happened, but my mother's basement, we got the fireplace lit. The beverages tonight are both hot and cold. And when I get there on this Monday night, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw Post Show for November 10th, 2025. I am your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Monday evening, wherever you may be. You know, I was hoping the rumors... I was hoping the rumors weren't true in regards to what we heard leading into tonight's show. I didn't really care for it. I didn't really understand it. And in a time in pro wrestling where everything just feels so rushed and haphazardly put together last minute, this was one of those situations that I really did not want to see. John Cena entered Monday Night Raw tonight in Boston one of 4 appearances left on his schedule. The rumor was that he was going to challenge for the Intercontinental Championship held by Dominik Mysterio, and he was going to win the Intercontinental Championship because, A, it would be a great gift to John Cena in his final year, and B, he's never won the Intercontinental Championship in his very long and illustrious WWE career. There was a lot of questions that came with that. Most notably, why? Number 1, why is something like that needed? Number 2, does that now put John Cena in a position to defend the Intercontinental Championship in his last match, if he makes it there, with the Intercontinental title? But thinking out loud, if he makes it to his final match with the Intercontinental Championship, will that title be on the line, and against whom? The growing rumor is that the title will be on the line in a match against Gunther on December 13th in Washington, D.C., which, in my honest and humble opinion, doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense. The rumors were true. John Cena won the Intercontinental Championship tonight. We'll go over how exactly all of that came about. I actually enjoyed the segment and the match. Believe it or not, I know people were looking for a John Cena, AJ Styles clinic out there on Monday Night Raw. We got no such thing, but that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy what they gave us tonight. John Cena won the Intercontinental Championship from Dominik Mysterio. He is now the new Intercontinental Champion. There's a lot more questions that come out of that decision than there are answers. Most notably, John Cena mentioned that he wants to give back. He keeps saying he wants to give back. He wants to make this about building the future. He wants this to be about positioning the company long after he is gone. Because what they're doing in NXT is the lifeblood, is the future of not only the company, but the business. For all we know, there's the next John Cena in that performance center right now. We don't know. If we are to believe John Cena, if we are to believe that John Cena wants to see the company build around its future, then Gunther will not win this tournament. That's all I have to say about that. If John Cena is serious, because John Cena has mentioned once too many times in the past that WWE lines him up and he does whatever they ask. In 20 plus years, it is now time for John Cena to start asking what he wants. And I hope that last opponent is something that he has thought long and hard about. And I hope that final opponent is going to be someone that he specifically has chosen and has not left it in the hands of the powers that be. Because that, in my honest opinion, the way we've seen television deteriorate from 2024 into 2025, I don't really trust Triple H and the WWE to do right by John Cena's final match when they've absolutely fucking butchered John Cena's final run in 2025. And The Rock is certainly to blame for that as well. I'm not casting all the blame on The Rock, but with his very visible absence, things were never really rectified. WWE didn't really care to rectify them. John Cena needs to speak up. He needs to ask for who he wants, if that is what he really wants. The future of the company being built. The future of the company in NXT, or coming out of Evolve, or out of the Performance Center. Gunther will not win the tournament, if that is the case. John Cena tonight mentioned that on December 13th, not only will we get his final match, but it will be a showcase for NXT. He's not only making the statement, he said that he asked for the entire show, the entire December 13th Saturday night main event to be all about the future. So there's going to be a heavy NXT presence mixed with Raw and SmackDown on that December 13th show. I don't know what they're planning to do. I don't know if it's going to be takeover-esque. Certainly feels that way. Random dream matches from the past, the present, and the future with all of the WWE talent. I don't know what their plans are for December 13th. I don't know what their plans are for John Cena's final opponent. But if we are to believe John Cena, then Gunther will not win the tournament. John Cena winning the Intercontinental Championship wasn't needed. It wasn't needed. I don't know how many of you guys cared to see John Cena win the Intercontinental Championship. I, for one, did not. I wasn't excited about it when I first heard about it. I wasn't excited about it when it actually physically happened. Then we watched it happen on television. I did not feel anything with John Cena winning the Intercontinental Championship. It was great for the people in Boston. They paid good money to see John Cena, and they got a memorable moment. It's great on them. They got their money's worth. But for me as a fan, I didn't really care about John Cena winning the Intercontinental Championship. Though, was there anybody else on the roster that would have made for a better Intercontinental Champion at this point? You can go and say, well, JD, I think Penta should have won the Intercontinental Championship. Sure. I love Penta. I don't know what they're doing with Penta. But it would not have had the same effect as they did tonight with John Cena winning the Intercontinental Championship from Dominik Mysterio. JD, Rusev should have won the Intercontinental Championship. Sure, I think Rusev is great. I think Rusev is on a nice string of momentum on Monday night. Is he somebody that the fans are clamoring to see? Is he someone the fans are excited to see? Is he someone the fans want to see as the Intercontinental Championship? No, no, and no. No. So that would have gone over like stale bread on Sunday morning when you're looking to make French toast for you and your wife in the morning. No. JD, they could have put the Intercontinental title on AJ Styles. Now, that's something that I lobbied for, but clearly WWE did not want to go in that direction. I would have loved to see AJ Styles as the Intercontinental Champion. I thought that would have been great. There's a lot to come out of that. They opted to put AJ Styles in a makeshift tag team with Dragon Lee, currently unnamed right now, and they are the tag team champions in a division on a show that has no tag team division. So the one real option WWE also mishandled and also creatively botched. So again, I ask, who else is there? You can point the finger at Sheamus. Sheamus isn't going to win the Intercontinental Championship on a random fucking Monday Night Raw in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where the fuck I am, United States. It's not going to happen. I think Sheamus deserves a lot better than that for also a guy who's never captured the Intercontinental Championship. Something like that should be reserved for WrestleMania. I also see, sidebar, people lobbying for Sheamus to be John Cena's final opponent. Now, granted, I'd love to see it. Granted, I think WWE should do the match, at least before he retires. But I don't think it goes in line with what we've heard from John Cena about giving back. Now, on the flip side of that, if it does end up being Sheamus, A, I'm not going to mind, and B, this is the only moment that they have outside of a WrestleMania where you would crown Sheamus as the Intercontinental Champion and have it be something special. Sheamus is one of the longest tenured guys there. Outside of it happening at a WrestleMania, there's nobody better for Sheamus to beat than John Cena. But after what we heard John Cena say, he wants youth. He wants to give back to the future on a show that's primarily going to focus on the future. I don't know if Sheamus categorizes himself as the future of WWE. It's counterproductive. If John Cena is walking into Saturday night's main event as the Intercontinental Champion, the Intercontinental Championship needs to go to someone young. It needs to go to someone who is legitimately, in the eyes of the WWE, the future of the entire company. Who that is, I don't know. But there's one name that I constantly hear over and over and over again, and the IWC is hung up on this one name and this one name only. And that name is Obafemi. If John Cena is going to walk into Washington, D.C. with the Intercontinental Championship, I am in favor of John Cena dropping the IC title to Obafemi. I don't know if WWE is going to do that. They got their own ideas. They got their own plans. They got their own creative. Do you genuinely see John Cena and Obafemi headlining his final match? I cannot see it. I can't. No matter how much you want to hype up how great Obafemi is and how Obafemi's the future of the company, I hope they prove me wrong. I'm also a big proponent of building for the future. I just don't see the marquee, John Cena and Obafemi. It's something where I have to see it legitimately play out to believe it. I don't trust the company to do that on December 13th. That's a lot. You're really asking a lot. You're asking WWE to have him win this tournament. You're asking WWE to have him on the marquee for John Cena's last match ever. And then you're asking him to potentially take the Intercontinental Championship away from John Cena on December 13th, beating John Cena in his final match while also becoming the Intercontinental Champion. That is a lot to ask of Triple H and the writing team. I just don't see that happening. I don't see it. When has WWE went all in on a talent like that in the span of 3-4 weeks? When? I can't remember. And you want them, you want this writing team, you want this head of creative to do that. The last time we wanted something like that was when Seth Rollins went down with injury. Everybody said Braun Breaker should be the next guy. Braun Breaker should be the next World Heavyweight Champion. Then reports came out saying, oh, they got their own timeline. They got their own plans for when that's going to happen. You want them to put fucking 4 rocket packs on Obafemi's back. Someone who the main roster audience has no fucking clue of. It's a big ask. Now, for all we know, John Cena doesn't walk into Washington, D.C. with the Intercontinental Championship. He doesn't. That is a possibility. But I'm going to be stern in my opinion here. If John Cena is still the Intercontinental Champion come Saturday night's main event, it should not be against Gunther. What the fuck does that do for Gunther? First of all, Gunther's name, for some odd reason, is creating a lot of discourse amongst the fan base, which is only going to enhance his heel. Nobody wants him to win this tournament because it's too predictable, which I agree with. I agree with everybody that feels that way. But I will not stand for any Gunther slander. If it does end up being Gunther, it should be a great match, but not one we need at this point. If John Cena wrestles Gunther and the IC title is on the line, what does that do for the Intercontinental Championship, and what does that do for Gunther? It does nothing. Gunther's already held the Intercontinental Championship, the longest reign in the history of the title. Gunther is a world heavyweight champion. Gunther dropped that IC title to Sami Zayn and then moved on to win King of the Ring and the World Heavyweight Championship. How does it make sense to you for Gunther to win the World Heavyweight Championship and then go back to having the secondary title, the mid-tier title, the mid-card title? I don't really understand why you would want to do that. Not only for the title, but for Gunther. He's been there, done that. What exactly does he do with the championship that he has not done already, taking it into 2026? The only thing I could logically think of is WWE wants to run back their original plans from 2 years that they never got a chance to do because Brock Lesnar had to be pulled off of television. Do they really want to run Brock Lesnar versus Gunther back at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship like they planned 2 years ago? Why would that match make sense now as opposed to 2 years ago? 2 years ago, it made sense. He was the champion. That was before his World Championship title reign. Now it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense to put the title on him, and it doesn't make sense to have that match take place at WrestleMania with the title on the line. If John Cena is the champion going into Saturday night's main event against Gunther, it makes absolutely zero sense. The only way it makes sense if it's Obafemi or someone similar. Someone who the company is going to trust in that spot and put over. And really make that star on that night, and the future of the business is born. Or the new future of the WWE is born. Again, I don't know if they are going to do something like that because they are way too safe. The only other option would be for John Cena at Survivor Series to wrestle either Rey Mysterio or Dominik Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. That's it. That's the only other idea that I could possibly come up with. John Cena versus Dominik in a rematch from tonight, because they could play it off that he needs a rematch or has a rematch clause. He wants his rematch. He wasn't ready. Management treated him unfairly. Either John Cena versus Dominik Mysterio at Survivor Series in San Diego, or we get John Cena versus Rey Mysterio in San Diego. Rey Mysterio beats John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship. Rey Mysterio then drops the title back to Dominik Mysterio, and we just go back to where we were before Monday Night Raw happened tonight. Again, I don't know what their plans are. I don't. But I feel like Rey Mysterio, Dominik Mysterio, need to have a factor in Survivor Series, being that it's in San Diego. If John Cena is the Intercontinental Champion, and they wanted to make a moment tonight, which they did by taking the belt off Dominik and putting it on John Cena, they could easily run back the rematch or do Rey versus John Cena, which would be another great nod to his final year. Something that I actually think would be great if they want to do that. Have Rey beat John Cena, and then have Dominik beat his father for the Intercontinental Championship once again. I just didn't get a sense that WWE was done with Dominik Mysterio tonight before the John Cena moment. I don't think that they were done with Dominik as the IC champion. I don't. So if they wanted to make a moment, they did. Now they have to undo everything that they did tonight and make it make sense. That is the only way that it makes sense. Or, Chad is saying, we could do Dominik, we could do Rey, we could do John Cena in a triple threat match. Which I don't really care to see. I think a one-on-one match is more up my alley. But I feel like that is the only way to make sense of what they did tonight. Just to give John Cena that one final championship. Now, I've also seen JB Conrad in the chat. I've also seen this idea floating around. Again, it's something that I'd have to see to believe. Ray turns heel, helping Dominik beat Cena. Now, I don't know if that is going to make all... I don't know if that's going to make sense with everything that they've done and all that they've done with Rey Mysterio and Dominik Mysterio. They've been at each other for years now. Why would Rey Mysterio turn heel to help his son Dom? Unless something about that comes out of the Judgment Day. Maybe they kick Dominik out of the Judgment Day. Maybe Rey Mysterio helps his son Dominik after being booted out of the Judgment Day. Again, I don't really know how that makes any sense, being that Rey and Dominik have hated each other for years. All of a sudden, they're just going to turn Rey Mysterio heel? I don't really understand that. Rey's on his last legs. 2026 may be Rey Mysterio's last year. I would assume he wants his final match to be against Dominik Mysterio. I just don't see how that would work and how that would make sense. Rey versus John Cena. Dominik beats Rey. And I think we go back to right where we were before Monday Night Raw aired tonight. That's the only way it works. But other than that, I didn't really care to see John Cena win the Intercontinental Championship. You might feel differently. I didn't really care to see it. War Games. WWE, just like AEW with their Blood and Guts match on Wednesday, have pieced these War Games matches together in literally the worst way that I've seen since the company has resurrected the gimmick for their television. This may be the worst War Games build that we've ever seen. We all knew the men's side was going to be a collection of baby faces: Punk, Roman, the Usos, LA Knight, possibly Cody or Cena, against, before he got hurt, Rollins and the Vision. The Vision was the big faction on Monday night that was leading the charge. The big bad group that was in charge on Monday night, the Vision, led by Seth Rollins. Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Paul Heyman, all they needed to do was add more members to round that out and make War Games make sense. It is November 10th, and we finally got the announcement that War Games will be. Not everybody was announced. They've done that conveniently at their own leisure. They will add the remaining pieces to the puzzle when they see necessary. We got the men's team, and we got, or the men's games, and we got the women's games, War Games. We knew that CM Punk was going to be a part of it. We knew Jey Uso was going to be a part of it. We knew Logan Paul after last week was going to be a part of it. Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, we knew they would be a part of it. I think we all assumed that Roman Reigns would be a part of it because the show was too big to keep Roman Reigns out of the match. I'll get to that in a second. He's still a big question mark. Brock Lesnar being rumored. Austin Theory is another rumor. Hasn't been on TV. Don't know why he would fit into any plans right now. He hasn't even been on television for 6 months. Probably longer than that. WWE tonight announced via William Regal, which was fucking great, CM Punk, Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes. Yes, Cody Rhodes will be a part of the Monday Night Raw faction, babyface faction, for War Games against the Vision. They have Logan Paul, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. So right now it's 3 on one, 3 on the other. It looks like by what we are seeing tonight on Monday that WWE is stripping the matches down to have it be, as of right now, it could change. There are 2 weeks to go. But what we see right now is 4 on 4. And I think that was pretty apparent with what we got with the women. The women ended the show with tag team championships changing hands, with the Kabuki Warriors beating Charlotte and Alexa. There was 4 women on one side and 4 women on the other. So I would assume it's going to be the same thing for the men. 4 guys on one side, 4 guys on the other. They could always add a 5th to each team. We have 2 weeks left to go. At this point, it's slim pickings for the women. Nobody's going to make sense there. For the men, they could add a couple of baby faces and have it make sense. They could add a couple of heels and have it make sense. What I don't get is how Cody Rhodes is on the babyface team. What does he have to do with anybody on this team? He hasn't had any interaction with CM Punk. He doesn't even wrestle for Monday night. He's had brief interactions with Jey Uso, but it was more about Jey Uso becoming mini Roman. And he tried to talk to him because Jimmy was upset. And Cody noticed that his friend was going through a mental breakdown. Cody Rhodes does not make any sense here. But if you guys watch Friday Night SmackDown, if Cody isn't in War Games, what exactly is he going to do? What is he going to do? We all figured that Drew McIntyre was once again going to be the challenger for Cody Rhodes at Survivor Series for the WWE Championship. People were talking about a 3rd match with Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes, or maybe a triple threat match between Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, and a returning Randy Orton, who right now has been missing and is on the back of a milk carton somewhere. Drew McIntyre is filming a movie. They wrote him off television on Friday. He's now suspended. Nick Aldis suspended him. So Cody Rhodes finds himself with no top-tier WWE competition for the world title on Friday night. He wrestled Aleister Black on Friday, but having that match headline a Survivor Series alongside War Games isn't really something for the marquee at this point. It doesn't speak to me. It doesn't make any sense. It's not exciting. Aleister Black is now built up for that type of role against Cody Rhodes. He legitimately has nobody else. And if Cody is not defending the championship, where else does he fit? If they don't put him in War Games, then Cody's not a part of the show. And you can't have Survivor Series in San Diego with 40,000 tickets out the door before they announce one fucking match officially. You can't have Cody Rhodes on that night not wrestle. You just can't have it happen. So if he doesn't fit into War Games, where does he go? But right now, from what we see, his inclusion in the War Games match doesn't make any sense. He had a problem with Seth Rollins. I don't know where he fits into this whole vision nonsense. He wrestled Rollins, he lost to Rollins, and then he went back to Friday Night SmackDown to wrestle Drew McIntyre. Now all of a sudden he's back on Raw and he's got a problem with the vision again. Now I'm going to run out and help my friends. I'm going to back up Punk and Uso. So if Cody, Punk, and Uso, Jey Uso, are on the babyface side, and it's 4-on-4, who's the 4th man? If you guys remember, Roman Reigns, he wrestled Bronson Reed the last time we saw him. He told both Jimmy and Jay, I love y'all, but I don't want to see any of you till Christmas. Now, I don't know if you could take him literally there. Maybe we can, seeing that he's wrestled less matches this year than he did last year. Roman says he doesn't want to see anybody till Christmas. Do you feel Roman is going to miss Survivor Series? The match is fucking loaded. Survivor Series is going to be loaded. Think about this. They got John Cena on the show. They got CM Punk on the show. They got Cody Rhodes on the show. If they add Brock Lesnar to the vision, they got Brock Lesnar on the show. Do they realistically need Roman Reigns for Survivor Series? Just by the star power alone, the answer would be no. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk would be in the same match. You add Roman to the mix, Roman, Cody, and Punk in the same match. Do they need Roman? They don't. He fits. He makes sense. I just don't get a sense that right now we're going to get Roman Reigns. Again, we could. We could. And if it's 4-on-4, WWE more than likely will add Roman Reigns because, I mean, that team is just fucking tops. Roman, Cody, and Punk on the same fucking team? And then you got Jey Uso, who's the fourth man out. So the fourth wheel. WWE, if they add Roman and then they add Brock, that's one hell of a War Games match. That's one hell of a War Games match. The thing is, I don't really understand. And I mean this genuinely. I don't understand how you leave out LA Knight from War Games against the Vision. I don't get it. How do you leave LA Knight out? Now, they moved LA Knight into the tournament. I'm assuming he's not going to lose his first match, and he's going to focus on wrestling John Cena at Saturday night's main event. So that's the holdup. But I don't see how you don't add LA Knight to the ongoing feud with the Vision when he's been in every single fucking main event for the last 6 months against the Vision. We had to be suffocated with LA Knight versus Bronson Reed, LA Knight versus Braun Breaker, LA Knight, Jey Uso against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, LA Knight against this guy, that guy, and a mixture of all these different fucking matches every single week. How are you going to leave LA Knight in California out of the War Games match against the one group that he has battled the majority of the year? If you leave LA Knight out of the War Games match, there will be a lot of unhappy people. Because I'm telling you right now, he's not winning the John Cena tournament. He's not. If you think he is, you're a fool. So he's not winning the tournament. He's not going to be in War Games. And he's not going to be at Survivor Series. Whose cereal did LA Knight piss in? They don't need Roman. I'm assuming it will be Roman. Then you got Brock Lesnar, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and Logan Paul. All of whom Roman have had issues with. All of whom Cody has had issues with. At some point. Punk. And then obviously Uso. Now they could add 5-on-5. They could add 5-on-5. They could add LA Knight to War Games. They could have 5 on the babyface side. And they could make Cody Rhodes' inclusion on the babyface team make sense if Drew McIntyre is added to the opposite side and aligns with the Vision. That's the only way Cody's inclusion makes sense, is if you add Drew McIntyre to War Games. Now, we don't know if he's going to miss Survivor Series and how long his movie is going to take to film. I don't even know what he's filming. Someone said Highlander. A Highlander reboot. Will Drew McIntyre be back in time for Survivor Series? Again, they could add another member to each team and make it 5-on-5. Drew McIntyre with the Vision, and then that makes Cody Rhodes' inclusion on the babyface side make sense. You could put Roman Reigns on that team. You could put LA Knight on that team. Either one of those guys would make sense. But I think at this juncture, LA Knight deserves it more than Roman Reigns. So that's where we are with the War Games. That is where we are with the War Games. Again, I don't really like how it all came about. The best thing about this build is that CM Punk got William Regal to announce and scream War Games. I just don't like how all of this came about. It doesn't feel like there is a explosiveness to it where it really warrants the match even taking place. And even less for the women. I don't know what the fuck they did at the end of that show tonight. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss lost the tag team championships to the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. Great. That is a decision that needed to be made because Jade Cargill has no baby faces to go up against on Friday night. Charlotte and Alexa did all that they could. They could still be friends. But now it's time to get back to business. Jade versus Charlotte, Jade versus Alexa. That division needs all the help that it can get. The women's War Games, I don't know what the fuck their planning was. I don't know what their thought process was. This women's War Games match is absolutely nonsensical. And I'm going to say it just like I say it every single year. We are forcing a War Games match when none of these women need to be in a War Games. The only people that belong in a War Games that are a part of this match are Rhea, Io, Asuka, and Kairi. That is it. I don't know where the fuck these other women come from. I don't know where the fuck these other women make sense. But I don't know what the fuck they did to make sense of this and thought that this was the right move. WWE had a fucking slam dunk for the women's War Games. A slam dunk. How are you going to leave out Bayley, Lyra, Roxanne, and Raquel Rodriguez? How are you going to leave all of them out? I don't really get a sense that they thought this through. Someone please explain to me what Lash Legend and Nia Jax have to do with the women's War Games. Oh, but JD, Nia Jax and Lash Legend cost Charlotte and Alexa the tag team championships, JD. So to you, that means let's put them in a double ring, double steel cage, and label it War Games because they cost them the women's tag team championships. That deserves War Games. Nia Jax couldn't stay in her tank top tonight. After last year's diabolical disaster that Nia Jax showcased in the Women's War Games match, mixed with her coming out of her top tonight, and all we saw was black screens because puppies. Maybe she wanted it that way. I'm not really clamoring for a Nia Jax War Games in 2025. So the Women's War Games teams are Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss against Asuka, Kairi Sane, Nia Jax, and Lash Legend. How the fuck did we get there? How did we? WWE had a slam dunk. Rhea, Io, Bayley, Lyra, and Maxine against Asuka, Kairi Sane, Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez, and Becky Lynch. What was the point of Becky Lynch staring down Asuka last week? Do any of you remember that? What was the point of that? I thought they were leading to them coming together in some way. Slam dunk. How do we go from that to whatever the fuck this is? Please, someone explain it to me. How does that equal War Games? You are actively driving people to lose their mind over how dog shit this creative is. And then we ask, why does this need the War Game stipulation? Can't this just be labeled as a traditional Survivor Series elimination match? What is the issue? What is the issue between Charlotte and Alexa, Nia and Lash Legend, who's been here for a half a cup of tea? What has she done? I'm struggling to figure it out. Now, granted, we still have 2 weeks to go. They could easily add Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupree on either side. They could. Does anybody believe that Maxine Dupree is going to win the Intercontinental Championship inside Madison Square Garden next week when she wrestles Becky Lynch one-on-one in a third match? I don't see it. I think it would just be better if you just add both of them to the Women's War Games teams. That realistically could happen. I don't know if it will, but like I said, WWE set us up for 4 with the women, showcased 4 women on each side at the end of the show tonight, and I'm assuming it's going to be more of the same for the men, 4 against 4. Traditionally, it's been 5. I just don't know how anybody in WWE looks at that and says, yeah, that's the Women's War Games. That's what we're doing. That's going to be good. It could be AJ Lee. AJ Lee could show up and be placed on the babyface team. Do we really want AJ Lee inside War Games after all that they made about her neck? Maybe she is as crazy as her husband is. I don't know. She hasn't been on TV since WrestlePalooza. Adding her to War Games is going to make just as much sense as adding Lash Legend to War Games, if not worse. What does she have to do with any of them? What does Becky have to do with any of them? What? He's adding women to the War Games matches just for the sake of it, because we need a Women's War Games match when we realistically don't. WWE went about the Survivor Series build and have taken everybody for granted. Oh, we got 35,000 plus tickets out the door. They don't give a fuck what we put on the show. They just want to be a part of it. This is the mentality of the company. They are taking all 35,000 of those people that have spent hard-earned money to sit in Petco Park, San Diego for Survivor Series. They have taken all of you for fools. They don't give a fuck about the build. They don't give a shit about anything making sense. They're going to randomly throw fucking names at you. If it makes sense, great. If it doesn't, great. They don't give a fuck. As long as you are given War Games. Pro wrestling in 2025, the modern era of pro wrestling, is going to make us hate War Games by the end of this month. They are going to make us hate the concept. They're going to make all of us feel like it should go the way of Hell in a Cell. Gone. Because that's exactly what they're doing. They are driving the concept into the fucking grave. No build, names that don't make any sense, and they use it to simply sell a show. Every year it's Survivor Series, so that means War Games. War Games is going to become the next casualty that goes away until it's really needed, like Hell in a Cell. Survivor Series needs a complete overhaul. I think it's about time we go back and give a little bit of nostalgia and maybe do a War Games when it's necessary. I don't really get a sense that the women that they've announced tonight have anything to do outside of Rhea, Io, Kairi, and Asuka. That's it. That's worthy of War Games. The other women, you're just throwing names at a fucking wall and hoping that people don't see how dog shit your creative really is. WWE announced the rest of the John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament here on Monday night. We got another 2 matches coming on Friday. We had 2 matches also take place tonight. Sheamus versus Nakamura and then Damian Priest versus Rusev. Both went over pretty decently. Sheamus and Nakamura was better than Rusev and Damian Priest, which went over in basically silence in Boston in front of 17,000 people, which I'm not really surprised by. And we'll go over the rest of the show tonight. Nikki Bella also turned heel on Stephanie Vaquer. I mean, the way that it happened, it just randomly came out of nowhere. I expected it to happen, but I didn't really expect it to happen tonight. So we may be looking at another dead-end feud here for Stephanie Vaquer, which they have not really treated her as the women's champion very well since she's won the championship at WrestlePalooza. We'll go over everything we need to right here on Monday night. It is your Monday Night Raw Post Show right here on Off the Script for your November 10th, 2025. Tonight, we are sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com. Code JD. You're going to get 10% off your first month. Blue Chew Gold is what we're talking about tonight. Championship belt performance. Tonight, we're sponsored by Blue Chew Gold. We'll go over my friends over at Blue Chew a little bit later on in the show. Thank you to them for sponsoring tonight's Monday Night Raw Post Show. We uploaded new content today. I wanted to get the week started right. I know a lot of people hit me up about my opinion about the story that we talked about today. The former Tegan Knox, Nixon Newell, and her girlfriend, Miranda Alizé, walked out of AEW Collision on Saturday night because they were disappointed that they were only given 3 minutes to wrestle Anna Jay and Tay Mello. Talk about selfish, talk about entitled. Talk about being a mark for yourself. It's not standing up for yourself. You and everybody else look at you as embarrassments because you took an opportunity that other people in that company are fucking dying for, and you walked out thinking that you were too good for the position. There's a lot going on there, folks. Go check it out. We talked about it today. I gave my opinion on it today. It's on the homepage. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Leave me a comment down below as well. Helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. If you guys are on Spotify, iTunes, and all other audio platforms, just want to say what's up. Thank you guys for the support over there. We're always kind of floating around the top 25 or so on the iTunes Pro Wrestling charts. Thank you very much. Tomorrow night, we got Tuesday Night Titans. Sure, it's going to be a very educational discussion. It always is. Episode 120 coming at you tomorrow, 8:30. Lots to talk about. And make sure you guys are locked in tomorrow for Tuesday Night Titans. And this Wednesday, we got Blood and Guts. AEW Dynamite. Jesse and I will be here live to cover it all to kickstart the War Games season. AEW edition from North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina. Let's get into this Monday night. Let's get into this Monday Night Raw. We are going to start, which I enjoyed the open of the show more so than any other point in the entire show. John Cena is out. But before we get John Cena, Triple H is out in the ring, and he's got a live microphone in his hand. Seen a lot of people complaining that Triple H, he is someone that loves the spotlight. He hogs the spotlight. Why was this needed? Blah, 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 blah. I get that people are very unhappy with Triple H. But with the circumstances here involved, with John Cena making his 1 of 4 final appearances for WWE in a sold-out TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, you genuinely don't expect Triple H to be a part of that, to introduce John Cena in front of 18,000 people? He'll probably end up doing the same thing next week in New York City. And he'll do the same thing in Washington, D.C. on December 13th. He's the COO. He has a history with John Cena himself. So I don't understand why people are getting bent out of shape with Triple H introducing John Cena. Now, did he talk a little bit too long? Sure. He could have kept it to a brief minimum. But he had to go on one of his wild rants about people having an opinion about the pro wrestling product and an opinion about the business. Yes, cry me a river, Triple H. Cry me a river. We're going to be here every single week having a fucking opinion about what you and Tony Khan both do. None of you are immune to criticism. It is how you handle the criticism. And right now, according to what we've seen so far this year, he's handled it like shit. Triple H. He says they all are living in a magical time and a time when everyone has an opinion, especially when it comes to this business. And few agree on much nowadays, not only in pro wrestling, but in the world. Everybody's got an opinion. He said that includes opinions on who is the greatest of all time. I don't know who you guys think is the greatest of all time, but my greatest of all time is Shawn Michaels. Just the way it is. Some of you might think John Cena is the greatest of all time. Some of you might think The Undertaker or Bret Hart or Stone Cold Steve Austin is the greatest of all time. Some of you might think Hulk Hogan is the greatest of all time. He says you can measure it a lot of ways. And he mentioned in-ring performance, charisma, the ability to tear someone up on the microphone, the ability to do PR for the company, and the ability to be a box office attraction. Sounds like Hulk Hogan's got all of these checked off, which, in my opinion, Hulk Hogan is front and center on Mount Rushmore. John Cena certainly is up there. The categories are endless, but the truth is they are all subjective. He says he can see it from a lot of sides, as a fan, as a talent, as a performer, as a businessman, and as a promoter. I can see all sides of what it takes to be considered great in this. He said tonight might be one of those nights where everyone in the arena can agree on one thing. He says he can look as maybe the most objective person there is. He comes up with one name, and he says this person gave it his all and wanted to see it all elevated to the biggest form of entertainment on the planet possible. He says this person, when I look at it objectively, is the single greatest asset this business has ever seen. He said he is without a doubt the greatest of all time. He then said it was an honor to bring him out for all of them, John Cena. Again, it's a very subjective thing, yes. But he says he is the single greatest asset to this business. The single greatest asset that this business has ever seen. John Cena is that, for sure. He's one of the greatest assets to the business ever. In my humble opinion, he's not the greatest asset in the history of the business. He is not the same type of asset that Hulk Hogan was. Without Hulk Hogan, I don't think there is a WWE without... I don't think there is a current product without Hulk Hogan. And there certainly might not even be a John Cena without Hulk Hogan. I mean, it's just common logic. John Cena certainly is on the Mount Rushmore of greatest of all time. He's right next to Hogan. Austin is there. And then whoever you want to plug in at number 4, plug in whomever you want to put at number 4. But I think it's Hogan, Austin, and Cena. I don't think that's really subjective. I think that's just common sense. Cena came out and said what happens in WWE is a team effort and the fans are a part of it. He says his goal is to leave the business better than he found it and do his best to pay back all the opportunities to showcase himself in front of the WWE audiences. He thanked fans for putting up with him over the years. He said now WWE superstars will have to earn the spot as his final opponent. He says he is putting up a fight so they can't brag about beating him. He said December 13th will be a night to close a chapter, but it will be a big night of opportunity. He said it will be a night where main roster WWE stars hold exhibitions for the brightest that NXT has to offer. He said Saturday night's main event is about closing a chapter, but paving the road ahead for the future. He said he has selfishly wanted to go to Boston one last time. Looked like he got a little bit of emotional. His voice cracked a little bit. He talked about looking up at the banners and feeling the greatness in the TD Garden and seeing the fans filled with joy just being here. Dominik Mysterio then all of a sudden interrupted to a chorus of boos. He walked up to Triple H. He spoke Spanish in front of Triple H. He says he heard them talking about the future of the business. Fans then started chanting, "Shut the fuck up," at Dominik, which Netflix then bleeped out, and WWE then lowered the volume. If you ever want to feel cringe, watch a pro wrestling show with 18,000 hardcore fans there to see John Cena in Boston on Netflix, and then have them mute the fucking curse words on Netflix, and then also lower the volume so that you don't hear it as loud as you should. WWE has no fucking balls. Oh, man, it's not going to be good for sponsors. What are we living in, bro? What era are we living in? Are we living in the pussified era? You're asking people who paid how much money to sit there not to chant a word that most of us use on an everyday basis hundreds of times a day? I don't really understand why WWE is all about sucking the fun out of these shows. I don't get it. Like on USA Network, I would understand it. On Fox, I understand it. Fine. Netflix? On a PLE? On ESPN? It's fucking garbage. Ruins the moment. Ruins the moment. He talked himself up. He asked Hunter what he was going to do about what happened last week with Rey Mysterio. I don't think this is the right time to be talking about that, Dom, but you picked one hell of a time to bring that up now. What was it? Triple H's office was locked. He was in a meeting. He had a line wrapped around the door with other talent wanting to talk to him, and you couldn't get in line. He said he is the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. False. He is not the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. And his celebration was interrupted by some deadbeat. He said, I interrupt old men celebrations. He said, whatever was going on there wasn't as important as he was. Cena cut in, and he wanted to cut a promo here on Dominik. He welcomed Dom to Boston. Dominik says it's not about him or Boston. He told Cena, go sit in the corner and speak when you're spoken to, or I'll put you down. Cena smiled sarcastically, almost in a way like, who the fuck does this kid think he is? Fans chanted, you fucked up, you fucked up. Again, bleeped. Netflix, WWE bleeped it. And then they lowered the volume as well as the crowd in Boston. 18,000 chanted, you fucked up, you fucked up. Cena said, fine speech, fine speech. He said in his anger, he forgot who he was talking to and where exactly he was. He said any other night in any other city, John Cena would give him a chance. But tonight he doesn't have a chance. Tonight I am invincible. He told Dominik to choose his next words very, very carefully. He said if he picks a fight with him tonight, he will lose. Wrong time, wrong place, wrong guy. He says he'd do him a favor out of respect. Out of the respect that he has for his father. Right now, I'm going to let you turn around and walk your ass right back through that curtain. Dominik smiled. He laughed. He says he'll need more than magic to touch him. He says he hasn't even reached his peak yet, and he right now is better than John Cena has ever been in his prime, he said in any era, he would have whooped his ass. Fans again chanted, "You fucked up. You fucked up." Triple H steps in. He tells John Cena to back away. Triple H takes the microphone and says, "You know what? I agree with the fans. I agree with the fans when they chanted, 'You fucked up, you fucked up.'" He agreed with them. He said, "Dominik said anytime, any place, any era." He said, "Seems like a pretty good era to me. Boston seems like a pretty good place to me. Right now, it seems like one hell of a time to me." He said, "If it's okay with Cena, Dominik, you will defend the Intercontinental Championship tonight." Fans got very loud. And he said, "Tonight, the IC title will be on the line against John Cena. Get me a referee and let's get to work," which is something that John Cena usually says before he runs to the ring. So we got the match. Tessitore excited, saying this is really happening. Wade Barrett saying this is not fair. I don't believe this is happening. Everybody's been asking for this match. Everybody's been asking for this. In some way, shape, or form, he's got to wrestle Dominik. He's got to wrestle at least Dominik before he retires. And we got it. We got it, and it's for the Intercontinental Championship. So this went 14 minutes through 2 commercial breaks. This match went. Now, I'm not going to judge this on all of John Cena's previous efforts because we still got 3 matches left for John Cena. Hopefully next week he'll wrestle. We got 1 match next week, maybe. We got Survivor Series, and then we got his final match, which I know he's going to go all out for. He has to. John Cena is not going to skimp on his last match. I am not going to grade this match on the same level of curve that we got with John Cena, AJ Styles, or John Cena and Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, or John Cena, Logan Paul, or even John Cena, Sami Zayn. Dominik Mysterio is not the same caliber of performer as AJ Styles, Cody Rhodes, Logan Paul, or Sami Zayn. He's not. Is he a great heel? Yes. Is he someone that has a bright future? Yes, he is. But he's not there yet. He's not all that yet. I don't look at Dominik Mysterio matches and grade them on, man, how great is Dominik going to wrestle tonight? Dominik is a heel. Dominik has played a heel. And recently, Dominik has played a heel that cheats to win and takes every cheap way out possible to retain the IC title. So I expected more of that here, more so against John Cena. And he did it one too many times where it came back and bit him in the ass. So I'm not going to grade this on the same level that we saw John Cena and AJ Styles at Crown Jewel. This was a match that took place in Boston that fans wanted to see. Added stakes were there with the IC title being on the line. And the predictable outcome that we got with John Cena winning the Intercontinental Championship sent everybody into a frenzy because he captured the one championship that he's never held in his entire career. This was for the moment and the moment only. If you want to sit there and grade this match on, man, this wasn't nearly as good as his previous matches, well, I think you're a complete geek. I did not. I wasn't looking forward to seeing a match like that with Dominik Mysterio. I knew we weren't going to get a match like that with Dominik Mysterio. And it did everything it needed to do in front of an 18,000 sold-out TD Garden. WWE wanted an outcome. They got you an outcome. Everybody enjoyed it. The match was set up. And we move on. There's really nothing else to talk about here. The match itself was fine. It wasn't anything we're going to go back and rewatch, but the match itself was fine. They did the ring introductions during the break. We come back from the break, and Dominik attacked Cena when they were done, and the referee started the match. Cena had the better of it until Dom tossed him into the ring post. Dominik countered an AA, hit a DDT. Then he hit a slingshot senton. Cena got his knees up, and they come back from a second commercial break. So we had 2 breaks here before we even got to the 10-minute mark. So most of this match took place in the commercial. And again, if you don't have a VPN, you missed half the fucking match. Cena did his usual 5-knuckle shuffle and 5 moves of doom. Dom slipped out of the AA again and shoved Cena shoulder first into the ring post. Dominik exposed the metal turnbuckle to distract the referee while the referee went to go put the turnbuckle pad back on the turnbuckle, which I don't know why at this point that is even a necessity. Dominik, while the referee was preoccupied with that, went over to grab a steel chair. Dominik tried the Eddie Guerrero trick of faking a chair shot and tossing the chair to Cena, but Cena dropped the chair and laid down on the mat with Dominik. If you're going to play that game, I'm going to play that game right back with you. Crowd chanted for Eddie while Cena winked at Dom. Again, more antics, more of a sports entertainment aspect to the match than anything. So, Cena hoisted up Dom for an AA again. Dominik holds on to the ropes. Cena pulls him off the ropes, and while he does it, the force of pulling Dominik off the ropes, he inadvertently bumped the referee. Cena applied the STF. Dominik tapped out, but there was no referee there to see it. Cena, who was doing this for how many years? 21 years. He released the hold. He celebrated like he won the championship and then realized the referee was down. I don't know how John Cena didn't realize that he hit the referee by pulling Dominik Mysterio off the ropes in the AA and the referee went down. Comedy. Dominik tried for a belt shot. He grabbed the IC title. He tried for a belt shot. Cena ducked it, hit an AA. A new referee ran out to make the cover, and Dominik kicked out of the AA. Fans were going crazy. They could taste it. They could feel it. Dominik tripped Cena on the ropes, and he hit a 619. Cena sold the 619 ridiculously over the top. Hits the frog splash. However, Cena rolled through. So after the frog splash from Dominik, Cena caught him as he came down with the splash, rolled through the splash. He had him up, hoisted him up on his shoulders, delivered a very intense AA, went for the cover. 1, 2, 3, crowd exploded. John Cena wins the Intercontinental Championship. Cena celebrated with the title. A belt he has now won for the first time in his career. He's now a Grand Slam champion. He thanked Boston and said the champ is here. The match itself was fun. It's nothing that you're going to go back and rewatch. Just the ending. To see Cena win the IC title. They made a moment. They wanted a moment. They delivered a moment. Like I talked about in the beginning. Cena winning the Intercontinental Championship does nothing for this guy right here. The one that's speaking into this microphone. It does nothing for me. I didn't care to see it. I didn't want to see it. I was hoping we didn't see it. But WWE wanted to give back to John Cena. WWE wanted to do something for John Cena. 4 matches to go. We got 1 more month to go. Legitimately. And then John Cena is goodbye. The only way that John Cena winning the Intercontinental Championship makes sense is one of 2 things, and I discussed this in the intro, and I won't spend too much time on this. I know everybody is fixated on Gunther winning the tournament. There is a large portion of people that don't want Gunther to win the Intercontinental, well, not the Intercontinental Championship, but the last time is now tournament, which would then bring him to the Intercontinental title and John Cena. If John Cena holds the title all the way to his final match and Gunther wins the tournament, I'm not into that, bro. Not only am I not into that, it doesn't make any sense. Gunther's above that. We've been there, done that. It just logically, just aesthetically looking at it, Gunther won the title, held it for 666 days, dropped it to Sammy, won the King of the Ring, won the World Heavyweight Championship, and he is a 2-time World Heavyweight Champion. to then go back and win the Intercontinental Championship, but at the same time retire John Cena. I mean, retiring John Cena is a bigger attribute. It's a bigger statistic for him than winning another Intercontinental Championship. Who cares? To do what with? He's owned the record for the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time now. What does he need to do with that championship? So if Cena takes the belt into DC on the 13th of December and Gunther is his opponent, it does not make any sense. If someone like an Obafemi or someone youthful that we may not be thinking of wins the tournament and gets John Cena in his final match, then it makes a little bit more sense for Cena to not only lose his final match, but drop the championship. Honestly, to someone that's youthful, young, the future. Someone like an Obafemi or a Javon Evans or someone like that. Again, the Obafemi thing, I got to see it to believe it, because that's a lot. That's a lot to ask of WWE. You want Obafemi to win the tournament. You want Obafemi on the marquee against John Cena for his final match ever, and then you want him to beat John Cena and win the Intercontinental Championship. That is a fucking lot to ask, bro. It's a lot. Would I like them to do that and take the chance? Yes, because they've played it so safe. But John Cena may not even take the title into Washington, D.C. He might not even make the 13th with the Intercontinental Championship. If they wanted a moment, they certainly could undo that moment at Survivor Series. They got the moment in Boston. They made it count. Cena's a Grand Slam champion. Now, fantastic. You wanted to give that to him. You want that on his record. Greatest of all time. You want to add to that whole narrative. Fine. Dominik could get a rematch. We could get Dominik versus John Cena again at Survivor Series. After tonight, I don't really care to see it again. We got it. I'm done. Nobody in this year has had double matches with John Cena. Don't know why we would give Dominik 2 matches against John Cena in a single year, in his final year, when no one else has had that opportunity. I am lobbying for John Cena to defend the Intercontinental title against Rey Mysterio. I'm having Rey Mysterio beat John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship, and you could spin it in a way where Dominik actually helps his father. Dominik feels like he would rather take the belt from his father than John Cena. But Rey versus John Cena at Survivor Series, with Rey having his hometown crowd there and John Cena being a part of Rey Mysterio's history and vice versa, I think that would be the best way to go about it. Or we get none of that. John Cena gets added to the Survivor Series babyface team against the Vision, and we get Rey Mysterio versus Dominik Mysterio for the AAA Mega Championship at Survivor Series. Or non-title at Survivor Series. I don't know which one of those options is good to you guys. I don't know which one of those options sounds good to you. But we got 2 weeks to figure it out. Is John Cena going to be a part of an Intercontinental title match with Rey Mysterio? Is he going to be a part of War Games? Is he going to be Intercontinental Champion walking into his final match? I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot more questions than answers to come out of John Cena winning the Intercontinental title. But they wanted a moment. We got a moment. He's a Grand Slam champion, won the IC title for the first time in his career. Byron Saxton interviewed LA Knight, who right now finds himself only in the tournament and not anywhere near Survivor Series. So we get LA Knight here in the back with Byron Saxton. And I hope for LA Knight and the LA Knight fan base that he's got something to do with Survivor Series. Otherwise, we're never going to hear the end of it. Who was in the Cena tournament. Knight congratulated Cena, but he never cared about having a dream match with anyone. But now Cena had something he wanted. Night kept going. His promo was cut off mid-sentence. They returned from the commercial break, and we saw babyface members of the roster greeting Cena backstage, congratulating him after winning the IC Championship. Mysterio shook his hand. Crowd cheered. Could be a little glimpse into the future there. They even popped bigger when Cena bumped into Cody Rhodes, who was there in the back, in the TD Garden. They shook hands, and Cena Rhodes embraced. So Rey Mysterio was there to congratulate Cena. That may be a direction we're going. And LA Knight's interview with Byron Saxton got cut off mid-sentence because they had to go showcase John Cena walking amongst his peers as the new Intercontinental Champion. Does someone in creative have it out for LA Knight? If I'm going to take a stab at it, I'm going to say it's Bruce Pritchard. Just a hunch. Damian Priest. He went one-on-one with Rusev. This was the beginning of the tournament. This went 8 minutes. This was not very good. It was fine, but if this is what you call a quality match for the tournament to determine John Cena's final opponent, I'm going to look at you pretty funny. This was not this was not exciting. And this is what I had feared. WWE was going to give us some trash matches in this tournament, something that is just very simplistic and very WWE-esque, just to get us from one bracket to the next. Dull. Most of this match was wrestled in silence. 18,000 people in the TD Garden. Silence for Rusev and Damian Priest. Rusev wins. Priest eventually came back after Rusev was beating him down for a majority of the match. Priest with the kicks and a crossbody off the ropes, Undertaker style. Rusev targeted his eye, which Malachi Black, Aleister Black, had been targeting for weeks now after throwing a fireball at it several weeks ago. Rusev raked Priest's eye, hit the Machka kick, and he pins Damian Priest for a 1-2-3. Rusev advances in the John Cena tournament. We don't know against who. I'm assuming that he'll wrestle Sheamus, because that was the only other match that we got tonight, Sheamus versus Nakamura. This was dull. If you were excited or enthralled about this match, I'm going to have to ask you to go seek help. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. They met with Adam Pearce backstage, wanting to defend the championships. That's great. I'd love for the tag team champions to defend their titles, but let's be real. Against who exactly? The Monday Night Raw tag team division isn't really lighting the world on fire nowadays. Who is there? The New Day? The War Raiders? The Creeds? You remember them? Who? Gable's boys. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Where are they at? Are there any other teams? Who exactly do they want to defend those titles against? Styles says they want to keep defending the titles. Set them up and we'll knock them down. You got a better chance of going playing dominoes, bro. Set them up and knock them down. Or a game of Jenga. How about that? That actually might be more enjoyable. Watching AJ Styles and Dragon Lee play a game of Jenga, it's probably going to be more entertaining than defending those titles against any of the teams in this Monday Night Raw women's, the women's division. The Monday Night Raw men's tag team division. You might as well add some of the women to the tag team division because there are no teams in the men's division. He asked if they have a team name. Adam Pearce asked them if he have a team name. Styles says no, but Dragon Lee says yes. He said dragons with style. He said this in Spanish. Styles says, no, it's too long of a name. Let's go back to the drawing board. Maxine Dupree walked up to Adam Pearce after he told both of them that he's going to cross some T's and dot some I's. She wants the match with Becky. She's been feeling ready, or she is ready. She says, being ready isn't a feeling, it's a choice. So she told Pearce, give me Becky. Pearce says that he was scheduling it for New York at Madison Square Garden next week. Adam Pearce walked away, started yelling from a distance that she is ready. She's definitely ready. Becky Lynch came out of nowhere and attacked her and punched her right in the fucking jaw. Like a straight shot to the jaw. She went down, she fell into some production crates, and Becky told her that she doesn't stand a chance. You want me? You don't stand a chance. I don't know. Now, one of two things happens here. One, we get another fuck finish, and both of these ladies get added to the Women's War Games, which would be nonsensical because they have nothing to do with the Women's War Games. Or AJ Lee helps Maxine beat Becky, and we get AJ Lee back on television with Maxine Dupree as the new Intercontinental Champion. Maybe we get AJ and Becky in the War Games because of what happened there. That wouldn't make any sense because it's just an AJ and Becky problem. What they have to do with everybody else in that match, I don't fucking know. It's a very weird situation. Does WWE legitimately give Maxine Dupree the Intercontinental Championship? I can't believe it. I could see it, but I just... It's another one of those situations where I physically have to see the fucking official announcement of it actually being a reality to believe it. I just don't believe it. None of them make sense being added to War Games, and Maxine, I mean, Becky's holding this IC title, and honestly, she's done great with it. I feel like as soon as Becky loses that, it's not going to feel the same. I don't think Maxine is the woman to carry that torch. I don't think she's ready for it. But they've gotten 3 matches now. Next week will be the 3rd one. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. You would figure that Maxine has beaten Becky via a countout, and then Becky caused a DQ in the 2nd match. It realistically could happen. I just don't believe it. And I don't think that's the best thing for the Intercontinental Championship after we've already gotten an absolutely horrible year on SmackDown with the Women's United States title. So they better be careful. They better be careful. CM Punk. He made his way out to the ring. He's got a microphone in his hand and he's looking for a fight. His taped wrists are all ready to go. He's dressed in fighting clothes. He's not out there in wrestling gear. He said he knew Logan Paul was a piece of garbage, but he didn't know how big of a piece of garbage Logan Paul really was. He says he won't give him a shot at his title, but he will beat his broccoli-headed millennial ass, is what he said. Logan came out, because he's humble, and asked why Punk was so mad at him. He asked if it's because he's so much smarter than he is. He said he's smarter than everyone in the arena. Punk interrupted. Logan told him to shut up. He said his eyes have been opened to a whole new vision. Heyman walked out and stood next to Logan. Bronson Reed then came out. Braun Breaker then came out. And all 4 of them stood at the top of the stage. Heyman said Punk is the most unlikable human being he's ever met in his entire life. He says he has no friends. And it's not because his friends betray them or betray him, but he betrays his friendships. You are simply one miserable, rotten bastard, he said. He couldn't be any more unlikable unless your name was AJ Lee. Punk said if AJ Lee was there, she'd leave all 4 of them in a pool of their own piss and blood. Now, I'm going to take Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker in that instance, but AJ isn't going down without a fight. That much I'll say. So he said he's the only one there, so come get him. They all walked to the ring. Jey Uso then all of a sudden came out of nowhere and backed up CM Punk. So clearly he does have a friend. Cody Rhodes' music hit. He ran to the ring with his belt, and now he made it a 3-on-3. Fans sang Cody's theme word for word. It sounded great. And then all 6 guys began to brawl. When Punk got his hands on Heyman at ringside, Logan yanked him off of Heyman. Cody jabbed Braun Breaker with a chair. Punk bashed Reed across his back with the chair. Cody and Jey clotheslined Reed over the top rope. Fans started singing, Cody, Cody Rhodes. Got to get that European-style soccer chant for Cody Rhodes everywhere he goes. Punk's music played, and the segment came to an end. In typical WWE formulaic style, this clearly set up what we all expected, and that was War Games. Now, we didn't really get an explanation as far as Logan on why he went from getting attacked by the Vision to joining them over the course of the 2 hours last week. We didn't get any explanation for that. Logan Paul, all he made mention of was, I don't really want to be on the wrong side of these guys. I took a tsunami last week. That's basically all I'm going to do, and that's the last one of them I want to take. In no way, shape, or form did we get why he backed up CM Punk to attack the Vision, only to then have the entire 2 hours of the program go by, and then we see him reemerge at the end of the show with him wearing brass knuckles and then him punching out CM Punk. What made him change his mind? Was all that it took a tsunami? Is that what you really want me to base this off of? Logan Paul took a tsunami from Bronson Reed, and that's why he's aligning himself with the Vision. Is that why he's joined the Vision? Because he doesn't want to take a tsunami again from Bronson Reed or a spear from Braun Breaker. Who's writing this shit? Do you not think the fans deserve some sort of explanation as to why these teams are coming together? Maybe I'm just too picky. I don't know. Stephanie Vaquer. She went one-on-one with Raquel Rodriguez. This was for the WWE Women's World Championship. This match went 11 minutes. I want to say something positive here before I get into what I feel was a negative. The match itself was fine. I don't think, in fact, before I get to that, the match was fine, number one. Number two, I think Raquel Rodriguez has really transformed herself from feeling lost only a couple years ago to finding herself in the Judgment Day, and she's been very good. She's felt rejuvenated. She feels like she belongs. She feels like she has a place now with Roxanne Perez. I've very much enjoyed them as a tag team. I think she's killed it within the Judgment Day. I do. I think Roxanne Perez has killed it in the Judgment Day. I thought that they have been largely very good all year. Stephanie Vaquer is great. There's nothing bad I can honestly say about her. I don't really like the way the company is kind of forcing her upon us. It definitely doesn't feel as genuine and organic as, I don't know, Naomi. Naomi was the last champion. Everything just felt organic. Everything felt like it truly had come full circle, like she deserved it. I just feel like Stephanie is really great, but WWE is really pushing her. Like, really. Instead of it happening organically. But she's great. She's a great wrestler. Love watching her. I'm sure you guys do as well. I don't think WWE is doing Stephanie Vaquer and this title reign justice. I don't. I feel like, and granted, I think highly of Roxanne Perez. The match with Stephanie and Roxanne a couple weeks ago, it felt off. It was definitely an off night for the ladies. They both have done so much better, and they both, next time they're in there, will do much better because they're both great wrestlers. But honestly, I feel like WWE has not given Stephanie the caliber of run that you would expect for the type of wrestler she is with the Women's World Championship. I feel like they've put her in positions where she is struggling and she's behind. Like, I feel like she is so far advanced over someone like a Raquel Rodriguez, or in this case coming up, a Nikki Bella, that sometimes it makes Stephanie look bad, even though that's not the purpose of it. Stephanie has to wrestle from behind to make sure everybody else can keep up with her. And we're not seeing the real Stephanie. Now, you may see it differently. You might not even like her. But from what we've seen, Stephanie is not wrestling the same as she has been wrestling going back to the beginning of the year, even going back to when she was in NXT. I just feel like WWE is not really doing this reign justice, and they're actually stifling Stephanie by putting her in the ring with wrestlers that are very much less than Stephanie Vaquer. And that happened tonight with Raquel Rodriguez. The match was fine, but it wasn't as graceful or as super athletic as we expect the match with Stephanie Vaquer to be. It was very clunky. And Stephanie set up for the Devil's Kiss early on, but Rodriguez quickly blocked it. She hoisted Stephanie up on her shoulders in an electric chair position, dropped her face first on the turnbuckle. Crowd was quiet for Raquel Rodriguez here. We got a little bit of a crowd reaction with Stephanie making a babyface comeback. She tried the SVB, but like last week, Rodriguez was too big, so she didn't get it. Stephanie tried for a tornado DDT. Rodriguez blocked that, transitioned into a vertical suplex, followed by a big boot. Stephanie tried her running Meteora in the corner. Rodriguez blocked that, caught her, and hit a powerbomb on Stephanie for a 2 count. Stephanie caught Rodriguez in a submission between the ropes. Referee checked on Rodriguez after she let go. Perez tried to attack Stephanie, but Nikki tossed her into the barricade, and she was out there adding an insurance policy so that nobody fucks this match up for Stephanie Vaquer, because you know they're friends. Vaquer tried a flying crossbody, springboard off the top rope. Rodriguez caught her, hit a fallaway slam. Stephanie then is in the corner. Rodriguez goes up for that twisting elbow drop that she does in the corner. Stephanie dodged it. Rodriguez hit empty. Stephanie follows up with Devil's Kiss, thrust kick, and then the corkscrew moonsault, the spiral tap, she calls it. Spinal tap, whatever she calls it. Corkscrew moonsault for the 1, 2, 3. I would much rather that be her finish than the SVB. I think the SVB is not only terrible in name, it's terrible as a move for a finish. I'd much rather this corkscrew moonsault be her finish, because it always looks great. Stephanie wins. She retains the title, thanks to Nikki Bella, who had the assist on Roxanne Perez. After the match was over, Nikki Bella turned heel. She helped Stephanie up. She raised her arm. She hit her with the championship. When she went to go grab the championship for Stephanie, she just blasted her in the face with the championship. Nobody knows why. I'm sure we'll get a reason why. But Nikki She blasted Stephanie with the championship, and she stands over Stephanie's body, holding the championship up in the air, and she's making these weird faces, and the crowd is booing her, and Nikki Bella is now a heel after returning to the WWE as a babyface. She walked up the aisleway, ripped her shirt, and the crowd booed. I'm not excited to see a Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella title feud. This is not going to end up the same way that Jay turned heel on Tiffany. It's not going to result in Nikki Bella beating Stephanie Vaquer for the Women's Championship. This is only done to enhance Nikki Bella as an on-screen character. That's it. I do think that she's going to operate better as a heel than she will as a babyface. Nobody seemed to give a shit about Nikki Bella as a babyface. She's of the old guard, and people really understand that she doesn't fit into this current crop of women. She's going to have to do something to make herself stand out. She came in wanting to be fucking total Bellas all over again in 2025. It is not entertaining, and people don't want to see that. Most of the audience doesn't give a shit about Nikki Bella, and the people that were Nikki Bella fans in this current state, in this current generation, are not Nikki Bella fans anymore. And the young fans that are watching the product now have no idea who Nikki Bella is. They've been replaced, or Nikki Bella has been replaced, Brie Bella has been replaced with the Rhea Ripleys and the Bianca Belairs of the WWE. It's just the nature of the beast. The young generation has no idea who Nikki Bella is. And the people who were around in Nikki Bella's era are a lot older, and this era don't give a fuck about Nikki Bella. Just being honest. She came back and did nothing. She added nothing. Her character did nothing. It enhanced no one. It enhanced nothing. She needs to do something that is going to benefit herself and her character. I do think a heel turn is going to be better off for it, because I do think that Nikki is going to be a lot more, I don't want to say relatable, but a lot less cringy, a lot more inviting to watch as a heel. The hugging and the schmoozing and the fucking, oh, thank you for paving the way for us. I mean, there's only so much of that I could listen to. I could barely fucking stand any more of it. EO, Stephanie, the hugs, the kisses. Oh, I'm going to be in your corner. This fake partner. You're like, this was telegraphed and you seen it coming from a mile away. You knew it was happening. And when it happened, I didn't really give a shit because we all knew it was happening. And it's like, oh, all right. There you go. Nikki Bella turned heel. On to the next. They didn't really let it linger. Right on to the next segment. Does anybody expect Nikki Bella to beat Stephanie Vaquer for the Women's Championship? The answer is no. Now, the question is, where does it happen? Does it happen at Survivor Series? I hope to God not. God, I hope to God not. Maybe we get it at Survivor Series because you know how they have to have 2 women's matches. There's not going to be any other women's matches, but the War Games match is going to take at least 40 minutes. The fuck do we need another women's match there for? Does Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella deserve the Survivor Series treatment? No. You could do it on that Monday Night Raw before Survivor Series. Why would we even do that anyway? What has Nikki Bella done to get a championship match? She's lost. She's lost her last 3 matches. What has she done? I can't wait for them to make sense of that. Let's go look at Cage Match just to give you guys a glimpse into what we're talking about here. Nikki Bella hasn't really done much of anything. What has she done to earn a Stephanie Vaquer championship match? Let's see what she's done lately. The Judgment Day. They beat Nikki Bella and Stephanie Vaquer last week on Raw. Roxanne Perez beats Nikki Bella on the 27th of October. Asuka beat Nikki Bella on 9/8, 2025. So this woman lost her last 3 matches, and you want me to sit here and think she is deserving of a women's championship match against Stephanie Vaquer because she opted to hit her with the title after Stephanie beat Raquel and turned heel. So why exactly does she deserve a championship match? Oh, but she paved the way for the ladies, JD. Sure thing, bro. Sure thing. Moving on. After that, and Nikki Bella turned heel, they did give her a boo. They did give her some reactions there. So it was okay, I guess. But the follow-up, nobody cares. The men's War Games announcement. Adam Pearce approached Punk, Rhodes, and Jey Uso backstage. Punk said he was pissed. He said he had a team and wanted Heyman to get a team because he was tired of the games. Now, I thought we were going to get a 6-man tag team match next week in New York City. But Adam Pearce asked Punk if he meant what he was thinking. Punk yelled, "Regal!" William Regal suddenly appeared to a nice pop here, and he yelled, "War Games." I am very pleased that they incorporated William Regal into the show to officially kick off War Games. Because there is no other way it should ever happen. Only Regal. Even though Adam Pearce did a very commendable job last year. The Last Time Is Now tournament. And we talked about the men's War Games. Is Reigns going to be added? Is LA Knight going to be added? Is it going to be 4-on-4? Is it going to be 5-on-5? If it is 4, is it going to be Roman or LA Knight? If it's 5, it could be Roman and LA Knight. If it's 4 on the heel side, is it going to be Brock Lesnar? If it is 5, is it going to be Lesnar and McIntyre? So that makes Cody's inclusion on the babyface side. Makes sense. Is McIntyre going to be back before Survivor Series? Because he's filming a movie right now, which is why they suspended him on Friday night. More questions than answers on this fucking show. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sheamus. The Last Time Is Now tournament. Round 1. Sheamus won. Sheamus was in control throughout the commercial break. We got some offense by Nakamura. Nakamura, after the break, hit a superplex on Sheamus for a 2. Sheamus no-sold some kicks. Got Nakamura in the 10 beats of the Bodhrán. Sheamus went for a broke kick. Nakamura cut him off with a sling blade, or what looked to be a sling blade. Nakamura is not as graceful as you would imagine. I knew it was a sling blade, but it didn't really look like a pretty sling blade. Nakamura came off the top rope. Sheamus hit a big lifting knee strike for 2. After Nakamura grabbed the bottom rope, Sheamus went for an avalanche white noise. Nakamura blocked it, hit a power bomb on Sheamus for a 2. He then hit an enziguri, but Sheamus came right back with a broke kick out of nowhere. And he beat Nakamura in 10 minutes. We've seen Sheamus have a lot better matches on Monday night. I wouldn't put that match with Nakamura tonight up there with the best of them. But it was decent for what it was. And I'm glad Sheamus is going on to advance. So we may be looking at a Sheamus versus Rusev rematch in the tournament. We really may be looking at a rematch there. Sheamus wins. That was the only outcome, and I'm hoping for Sheamus' success here. I doubt he wins the tournament, but if there's somebody that's going to meet Gunther in this tournament, it certainly is going to be Sheamus. That's what it looks like to me. WWE announced the next 2 matches on Monday Night Raw. Next week in the tournament. We may be looking at the 2 names to come out of these matches that will wrestle both Sheamus and Rusev. Rusev and Sheamus. So we may actually get Sheamus to advance against one of these men. That's what I'm hoping for. Solo Sikoa will go one-on-one with a mystery opponent. I don't know why they are keeping it a mystery. I just wish they tell us who the fuck is in this tournament. It's week by week. I don't know why they're doing the mystery gimmick again. And something that I had hoped would happen in this tournament, but a little bit later on in the tournament, we're getting into the first round. I mean, I would love to see an upset here. I genuinely would love to see an upset here. I totally would. A lot of people are going to be mad. A lot of people are going to be mad, bro, at this match, because not only does this on the surface feel predictable, but you're really going to disappoint people by having this tournament happen, and then you're going to give us a predictable winner. This tournament needs to be epic. This tournament needs to be competitive. This tournament needs to be fun. And not safe like everything else that WWE's done. I had this match slated for a semifinal. We're getting in the first round. Gunther is returning next week on Raw. He will go one-on-one with Javon Evans. I don't know why they did the mystery opponent spiel. I know why they did it, but I don't know why they did it, because sure, they want to get people to tune in to see who it's going to be. But I think a majority of the audience here is going to tune in to see Gunther versus Javon Evans. Plus, John Cena is going to be there. It's one of his final 3 appearances. You don't really need to have the mystery gimmick sell you on watching Raw next week. Just give me who the fuck is going to be in the tournament. This Javon Evans and Gunther match is going to be something special, man. They got something special here. This is the quintessential David versus Goliath match. Like, the reason why I would have had this happen a little bit later in the tournament is because it just creates a sense of... It creates a sense of urgency and a real sense of competitiveness. Like, I just feel Gunther's going to have a great match with this kid and then go on to the next round. And that's it. Meanwhile, WWE, they got something special. They put these guys together for a reason. The near falls in this thing are going to be fucking great. Inside Madison Square Garden with 15,000 people, Javon Evans in the near falls and the fucking moves that he's going to be able to do on Gunther to get that crowd to pop. Bringing you to the edge of your seat. Can he do it? Is he going to do it? The near falls in this match are going to be something else. They got something special there. I hope that they can make it as special as I'm making it sound. This is a true David versus Goliath match. And I think this is on par with being one of the classic matches we get all year. I personally would have had this happen a little bit later in the tournament. That's just me. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I would have Evans go over. I would. I think it would eliminate the feeling from people that are disgruntled with this tournament already, because it's like a preordained thing that Gunther's going to win the tournament. Now, if Gunther wins the tournament, I don't even know who he's wrestling in the second round, because they haven't given us the fucking brackets. Maybe they give us the brackets after we get down to a full 8 guys. Maybe. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. If WWE wants to be reckless and throw a little fucking chaos out there, Javon Evans wins. But if Gunther wins, Obafemi needs to be in this tournament. That's the only way this works. Gunther, if John Cena is the Intercontinental Champion, I'm going to say this again, Gunther should not win this tournament. So we're either taking the belt off John Cena at Survivor Series against whomever, then he's going to go on to his final match and do what? Lose again? He's going to lose. He's going to lose his last 2 matches. I got a lot more questions than answers. I'm hoping for, at this point, being that we got this match, an Obafemi and Gunther final. And I hope Oba goes over. I was hoping for Dragunov and Gunther final. I don't think Dragunov's going to be in the tournament. I just don't see them doing that with him being the United States champion. It's a long shot. He still could be announced. I just don't think they're going to do it. They don't want him losing. He's not going to win the tournament, so by default, he'd have to take a loss. I just don't see them doing that. I don't give a fuck. Him and Gunther in the finals would be tremendous. But John Cena would have to lose the Intercontinental title for him to wrestle Gunther. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here. If John Cena is the Intercontinental Champion, Obafemi should be in the finals. Or get that match with Cena. And he should be in the finals against Gunther, and he should go over Gunther. Seriously. I don't know if he's going to be the mystery guy on Friday night. Hopefully something exciting happens there. The mystery guys could be a Matt Cardona or a Dolph Ziggler or a Joe Hendry, for all we fucking know. Solo Sikoa is in this tournament. They picked the most auraless and uncharismatic guy in the entire fucking company. Why was the decision made for Solo Sikoa to be in this tournament? Who's excited about seeing Solo Sikoa in a John Cena last time is now tournament? I know I'm not. Those are the two matches next week. Solo versus mystery opponent, Javon Evans versus Gunther. Becky Lynch versus Maxine Dupree for the IC title, and John Cena will be in New York City at Madison Square Garden. Main event. Women's Tag Team Championships on the line here. Charlotte and Alexa Bliss defend against Asuka and Kairi Sane. This was fine. I didn't really care about much of this. I was just hoping for a new champion. Asuka and Kairi are the new tag team champions here. So, heels got heat over Bliss. We go into a commercial break. Charlotte was getting the better of both Asuka and Kairi. Asuka and Kairi outsmarted Bliss to take control. Bliss hit both opponents with a double DDT. As soon as they came back from the break, Charlotte made a hot tag. Hits a double flying crossbody. Charlotte hit each of them with a fallaway slam. With Asuka and Sane lying next to each other, Charlotte hit a moonsault. She's been doing that moonsault with her opponents lying on the mat, which is a lot better. I'm glad they fixed that. Charlotte used to be doing that moonsault to the outside, and she never connected on any of it. This is a lot better. Though I always thought she hit a beautiful Spanish fly off the top, too, but beggars can't be choosers. As long as she got rid of that moonsault to the outside that barely grazed her opponents. She pinned Asuka here off the moonsault for a 2. Bliss hit Sane with a natural selection. Asuka blocked Charlotte's attempt and applied an Asuka lock. Charlotte got out of it, went for a tag, but Kairi yanked Bliss off the apron. Asuka hit Charlotte with a knee strike, applied an armbar. Charlotte countered into a Boston Crab. Asuka countered that into a cradle for a 2, followed by a kick to the head. Charlotte came back with a big boot and then went for the figure 4. Kairi tried to break it up with the insane elbow, but Bliss caught her and pulled her down off the top rope with a Sister Abigail. Charlotte and Asuka, they are still in the figure 8. Referee was distracted. Nia Jax and Lash Legend broke up the submission. Bliss confronted Jax and Legend, so Kairi Sane shoved her into the announce desk. Asuka attacked Charlotte from behind and held her in position when Kairi quickly went to the top rope and hit the insane elbow on Charlotte. They pinned Charlotte for the 1, 2, 3, and we have new women's tag team champions. Bliss chased Asuka and Sane out of the ring. Bliss stood up to Lash Legend and Nia Jax, and they laid her out. Asuka and Kairi returned to the ring, and this is a 4-on-2 attack here. Io Sky ran out. She dropped the rope on Legend to get her out of the ring. As she came to chase Io immediately, dumped her to the outside. She laid out Asuka and Kairi with a double springboard missile dropkick. Io then went after Nia Jax with some uppercuts. Lash Legend came back into the ring and absolutely destroyed Io with a clothesline and turned her inside out. So we got all these heels here. We got Lash Legend, Nia Jax, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. All in the ring here. Rhea Ripley ran out. She's got that Phantom of the Opera-esque face covering because she broke her nose in Australia. She's still recovering. Ripley ran down the aisle. She attempted to clear the ring, but Nia Jax punched her. Babyface is now at the edge here, so they got rid of Jax after Charlotte booted her in the face as she tried to come out of her top on 3 separate occasions. Sane was alone in the ring, so Ripley gave her a razor's edge over the top rope and onto all the other heels. So Rhea, Io, Charlotte, and Alexa. 4. Nia, Lash Legend, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. 4. As of now, this is your Women's War Games. Rhea Ripley took the microphone and yelled, War Games. I know, man. I know. I could hear the moans and groans. I could hear the unenthusiastic levels of excitement here. Crowd didn't seem to really give a shit, but that's the way Monday Night Raw went off the air. They did cheer for Rhea Ripley and Io Scott coming on out because they haven't been on the show in weeks, because Io was in Japan, because she wrestled over in Japan and stayed for a little bit to visit friends and family, and then Rhea's been out with a broken nose. That's the way Monday Night Raw went off the air. Again, I ask, what does Lash Legend and Nia Jax have to do with a War Game situation against all these other women? WWE built the premise of Charlotte, Alexa, Nia, and Lash Legend being in the War Games match because Lash Legend and Nia tonight cost Charlotte and Alexa their women's tag team championships against Asuka and Kairi Sane. So the match doesn't belong in a War Games. They simply are doing it because they don't know any better. And instead of doing a single elimination match, 4-on-4, Survivor Series, old school rules, we got to put all these women inside of War Games because we got to give the women the same type of treatment as the men. Where exactly do you see the tension? Where exactly do you feel the tension for this women's War Games match? Now, Rhea and Asuka have tension. Rhea and Kairi have tension. Io, Asuka, Kairi have tension. They belong in the War Games. The other 4 do not. You're just forcing it at this point. So I don't know how you expect me to care. And hopefully they correct what they did last year, because last year's Women's War Games match was legitimately the worst ever. Awful. And culprit number 1 is back in there. Topless Nia. I don't know how WWE makes sense of this. I mean, they had a slam dunk with... How are you going to leave Bayley and Lyra out of War Games? How are you going to leave them out of War Games? How? Now, granted, Becky could be added, AJ Lee could be added, Becky could be added, Maxine could be added. We don't know. They could do the same thing for the men. They could add a 5th on each team. We don't know. Is McIntyre going to be added? Is Austin Theory going to be added? Is Lesnar going to be added? What about Reigns and LA Knight? They got to spread everything out. A little bit here in Boston, a little bit here in New York. This Survivor Series build feels very off. Very. All in all, I thought Monday Night Raw was a good show, but some of this Survivor Series build is very, very questionable. Thank you guys for all of your support tonight. We had a great stream tonight, man. We had upwards of 2,500 people in here. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We're going to read through them in just a second. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Yes, Cram. Bailey's hometown, too, in California. Oh, my goodness. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go check out all the content on the channel. Plenty of it, including today's Nixon Newell and Miranda Alizé walking out of AEW because they were unhappy getting only 3 minutes in a tag team match against Tay Mello and Anna Jay. They will never work AEW ever again. Thanks for coming. Tonight, we are sponsored by Blue Chew. Fellas, it's time to level up. It's time to level up. It's War Game season. Blue Chew just dropped something new, and this isn't some mid-card debut, bro. This is Blue Chew Gold, the championship belt of performance. We're talking a 4-in-1 powerhouse that sets the gold standard. It's engineered for energy, focus, and connection. The perfect combination when it's time to main events the night. Basically, it's like if Triple H booked your chemistry for a 5-star story and a 5-star match. This thing dissolves under your tongue and works in as little as 15 minutes. No long-term build, no cold open, just full ignition before the first commercial break. Blue Chew Gold is for those main event moments, the ones that you need a little extra boom before you hit the ring. This isn't Netflix and chill, guys. This is Netflix and fill. Guys, it just isn't about performance. It's about legacy. About going from mid-card to Mount Rushmore and you being right there next to John Cena. It's about being the tribal chief of the bedroom. So if you're ready to go for gold, Blue Chew Gold is your new tag team partner. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we got a special deal for all of our listeners. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code JD. Once again, that's 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code JD. That's promo code JD at BlueChew.com. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And big thanks to my great friends over at Blue Chew for sponsoring tonight's Monday Night Raw podcast right here on Off the Script. Let's get into these super chats so I can hop back on Arc Raiders. I'm addicted, bro. I'm addicted to Arc Raiders, man. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. JDOTS, how's your weekend? Let's go. Yeah. Thank you, Michael Krause. A little bit of a depressing weekend, but I'll get over it. Baltimore Jackson with a $1.99 and a $1.99. OTS for life. Thank you, JD, for the new intro. Well, not yet. It's coming, but not yet. Also, the way Dom talked to Cena is hilarious. Ali with a 5. JD, which wrestler do you think would have won if Prime Undertaker and Prime Sting had faced each other in their primes? Undertaker. Yeah, Triple M, I'm addicted, bro. It's too late for me. I have gone down the rabbit hole, bro. I'll be back on Destiny this week if you guys want to get that Catalyst all finished. Yeah, I don't know how I got sick, man. I don't know where I got sick. I just feel like I'm stuffed. I'm crusty. Woke up with a sore throat this morning. I don't know what the fuck's going on. We go from 60 to 30. Gotta be. Baltimore Jackson with a $4.99. First match of Raw was awesome. I will assume whoever John faces in his final match will be the new Intercontinental Champion. You would hope. Yes. Main event Crowley with a 36 months. There better be someone else winning this tournament, cause what new star will you make if Gunther wins? Also, my girlfriend said, you, my spirit animal. I am your spirit animal, huh? I don't know. How many people we got in here so you all could understand. Friday, there will be no stream. I'm letting you know right now. There will be no SmackDown stream. Not because I don't want to cover the show, because I will be somewhere else I would rather be than watch SmackDown. I will be in New Jersey at the Wellmont Theater in Montclair, New Jersey, and I will be attending a concert to see Mammoth, Wolfgang Van Halen, and Miles Kennedy. I don't give a shit what happens on SmackDown. I will keep tabs on it, but I will be watching one of my favorite bands currently in Mammoth and my favorite singer of all time. There's nothing on SmackDown that is going to grab me away from that show. Period. Your word of warning. Right there. So I can't wait for somebody. Well, where's the SmackDown stream, JD? Twister, $9.99 Super Chat. Hold on a second. We could get John Cena versus Sheamus at Saturday night's main event for the IC title. Sheamus finally gets his moment there. I'd personally be cool with that. That goes against everything that John Cena wanted. Miles will forever sound amazing. Miles is in his 50s and he sounds like he's fucking 30. Twister, thank you, brother. Yeah, I mean, listen. Could Sheamus win the tournament? Sure. I just don't see WWE giving it to Sheamus. But I mean, out of all the guys on that roster, Sheamus should get a match with Cena, but we're running out of time. Boss Mo Jackson with the $4.99. I get a kick out of the crowd singing Cody's theme. The last live event I went to, we spent 15 minutes singing Cody and Randy's theme. It was fun as hell. Yeah, it's great for the live crowds. Me as a home viewer, I'm tired of the sing-alongs. Give me fucking story. Yes, Sidro. Miles is actually Miles is spelled with a Y, but yes, I get what you're saying. Miles is miles ahead of others. Yes. Michelle with a $2 Super Chat. Now we see what Cody is doing at Survivor Series. Should be huge. Yeah, it's a stacked team right there. Joey Taylor with a 2. I like Solo, but he's so boring in the ring. He is. He is. I agree. Joey Taylor, thank you, brother. Twister with a $9.99. Said it many times, and I'm going to say it again. The difference between Raw and SmackDown is night and fucking day. Why SmackDown can't be like this, I don't know. Road Dogg needs to stop booking SmackDown. Bro, SmackDown is fucking awful. They should genuinely end the brand split. Xeno0 with a $5 Super Chat. JD, are you aware the song Buried Alive by One Desire? I recommend you give it a try. I'm telling you, it slaps harder than Gunther. I never heard of One Desire. Cody Snyder with a $20 Super Chat and a $2 Super Chat. Jay is unable to go. Randy replaces him to join Punk, Cody, Roman, and Cena. Turns on Cody inside War Games. I want to see that super face team you booked. All-timer right there. Could rival Hogan's 1995 Fall Brawl team. I did call that weeks ago, but I didn't think they were going to get there. And we don't know still if Roman's going to be a part of War Games. I'm assuming he will be. Cody also says, obviously, Randy would take out Jay. I like that idea. Another Anoa'i going down. That makes 2. Because I do think Randy took out Jacob. Tony Brown with a $5 Super Chat. JD, I would love to leave lip marks all over Stephanie Vaquer's rear end. Oh, my goodness, Tony Brown. I understand, bro. I understand. Toya with a 2. War Games, meh. Highly disappointed. Yeah, me too. Me too. Jericho, 8131 with a $10 Super Chat. I would rather have had Roxanne and Raquel in War Games. Putting Trash Legend and Nia Jax in War Games when they have been a team for less than a week feels forced. Yeah. Yeah. Justin with the 39 months. I'm glad Cena was able to become a Grand Slam champion in his hometown. Now the question is, when in these next 3 dates will he lose it? Well, not next week. Could be Survivor Series. Could be his last match. We don't know. We don't know yet. We will figure that out. Hardy Punk with a 9 months. The Grand Slam Wabadoo. Wabadoo. The Grand Slam Wabadoo. For Illuminati with a $5 super chat. If Cena has the title, the final match should be Cena versus Sheamus. If Cena doesn't have the title, it should be Cena versus Gunther. Everybody's on this Sheamus thing now, huh? Baltimore Jackson with the 199. I would prefer to see Cena's last match with Sheamus. 3 pages of horror, $4.99. Going to Full Gear. When I told my wife when we'd get home, I got the look of death. Never been so excited to leave a pay-per-view early. Weird times in 2025. You know how many people have asked me to do a meet and greet in New Jersey, bro? For this fucking show? Should I? Does anybody even give a shit? Yeah, let me go to Newark, New Jersey, man. What the fuck is there to do in Newark, New Jersey? Yeah, your wife has every reason to be upset, bro. It's a long fucking night of pro wrestling, man. Hopefully she enjoys the product with you. Never mind the product. Hopefully she enjoys the sport with you. That's a lot to ask of a single human being. Robert Hurt with 56 months. It's a freaking joke giving the Warriors the tag team champions over Alexa and Charlotte tonight. You're doing awesome, JD. I don't think it's a joke. It needed to happen. Because, Robert, Jade is a heel, and they have no other baby faces outside of Tiffany right now until Bianca gets back, and they're saving that. So Charlotte and Alexa are going to fill in that babyface role, so that keeps Jade busy. Yeah, I'm not going to Newark, bro. I would prefer not to get stabbed. I would prefer Utah over Newark, yes. Yes. Baltimore Jackson with the $4.99. Well, if people are lobbying for Oba, then the surprise mystery opponent will be Oba. I just don't see it. Trips and his team would be stupid not to do it. Maybe it's Oba next week. It's definitely not Oba versus LA Knight. I'll tell you that right now. If it's Oba, it's next week on Raw. For Illuminati, $2 super chat. Ray versus Dom, title versus title. I could see that. That may be where they're going. I could see that. If they do Ray versus John Cena, Ray beats John Cena for the IC title. Then they do Ray versus Dominik, title versus title at the next AAA show. Intercontinental title and the AAA Mega Championship. And then Ray beats Dominik. New Jersey ain't that bad, man. I live in Atlanta. Atlantic City's terrible, but I live in a gated complex, so I got my place down there. It's fine. Stay out of trouble, you're fine. Nowhere to go, you're fine. Vinny P with a $1.99. I feel bad for Randy Orton. I think Randy's doing just fine. He's making a whole lot of money. He's got a hot wife. He's got a fucking beautiful house. It's healthy. For Illuminati with a $10 super. I guarantee you Cody X to do War Games to get himself away from the dumpster fire that is SmackDown. And Cody's only beef with the Vision is with Paul Heyman back when he questioned Paul's loyalty. That's it. Yeah. WrestleMess with a $9.99 give us 2 WWE versus NXT men's singles matches, 1 women's singles match, and a tag team match for Saturday night's main event. Also, I don't see Oba beating Cena and Gunther in the same tournament. That's really a big rocket. Yeah. It's way too much. I don't know if that's going to be I don't know if that's going to be in the plans, but WWE They have taken zero risk this year. I don't expect them to take all that zero risk and just throw all the chips on the table for Obafemi. I just don't see it. Hollywood guy with a $5 super chat. JD, can you see either Javon Evans or a returning Santos Escobar beating Cena at Saturday night's main event? No. Santos Escobar? I can see Santos versus Ray when Ray wins the Triple M Mega Championship. Captain Solo with the 2. Triple H booking like Tony Khan now. Nonsensical. Yeah. Nick Mills with a $4.99. I don't know if you or anyone else mentioned it, but I think Oba is one of the mystery opponents and will win the title off Cena. If he's one of these 2 mystery opponents, I think that it will be next week on Raw. I think LA Knight is getting either Cardona or Joe Hendry. That's my prediction. A Mang with a $1.99 report saying Cena is in War Games too. Thoughts? Cena's in War Games to do what? Where was he tonight if he's in War Games? Why didn't he back up his boys tonight if he's in War Games? Maybe that is revealed next week when Lesnar is there. Cena and Roman? Cena, Roman, Cody, Punk, and Uso against Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Brock Lesnar, and Austin Theory / Drew McIntyre. One or the other. I don't know. I don't see that. I don't think Cena's a part of War Games. I think Cena defends the IC title against Rey Mysterio. Sidro with a 5. I found that today that Dwayne Johnson has lived in the apartment above me for a long time. I can't believe I've been living under a rock for years. You know, if that was the case, Sidro, you should go knock on his door and ask him why the fuck he disappeared after Elimination Chamber. Dalton Meister with a $5 super chat. If not Oba or Sheamus, I think Javon would be perfect. Yeah, they're not going to give it to Javon. NM94, $2 super chat. JD, Naya's 2 big gimmicks. Give her team 6, not 4. Yeah, they were flopping all over the place tonight. Citro with a $2 super chat. What do you call a fake penis? A fallacy. Nick Mills with a $4.99. My bad, I'm watching on a delay. Sidro hit rock bottom. Lauren with a new membership. Not true because I see a title belt next to her name. And then Lauren with a $2 super chat. John Cena is finally Grand Slam champion. Why have Cody save Knight instead of Roman? LA Knight's getting shit out of luck, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Update. Randy Orton is on vacation with his family. It's good for him. Randy Orton's not coming back before Thanksgiving, bro. Randy Orton is off of TV until the Royal Rumble. Ethan Nelson with a $4.99. Damian Priest is the perfect example of a faction guy. Without Rhea and Finn, he's just bland. He has been. And the creative hasn't helped him at all. Yurka with a 20. No message. Yurka, thank you. Sidro with a 5. Condoms don't guarantee safe sex. A friend of mine was wearing one when he was shot by the woman's husband. Yeah. If that was a preventative action, I think there'd be a lot more adultery and cheating. If it would work, right? Luca with the 7 months. War games. I prefer some board games. Maybe the best bacon win, or may the best bacon win. Hope the rest of your evening goes well. Thanks for the stream. Thank you, Luca. I'm a bacon guy. Crispier the better. I hate fatty bacon, bro. It's got to be crisp. Burn the motherfucker. For Illuminati with a 2, playing Arc Res while listening to you, JD. Well, I'll be on in a second. Louis Garibay with a $4.99. Hey, JD, hope you're doing well. Why has WWE done Bayley dirty? She missed WrestleMania, Survivor Series, and now War Games in her hometown state. I don't know. She's from San Jose. But the fact that San Diego is in her home state and she's not there, it's a little weird. A little weird. John Storm, 9314 with a 2. Just don't drop space strippers from the intro, bro. No, space strippers ain't going anywhere. I think if it goes, I think if I got rid of space strippers, there'd be a revolt on the channel. JD25 with a $4.99. Gunther is a credible opponent for Cena's last match, but I feel like he's a made man already. Someone like Obafemi can benefit more from that spot. Sure. It's up to WWE to do it. Nima with a $5 super chat. JD, are you really willing to miss Jade Cargill versus B-Fab? You fucking madman. Bro, I would give anything to not watch SmackDown. Thank God one of my favorite bands right now and my favorite singer is performing on a Friday night. Furious Nation with the 49 months. What's up, JD? Hope all is well, man. The difference between Raw and SmackDown is legit night and day. Much better than SmackDown, but it's not even funny. It is awful. Legitimately, SmackDown is awful. Metal Forever 246, $2 super chat. Thoughts on the band Evergrey? My current favorite. Evergrey is great. Evergrey is very good. Love me some power metal, man. I love power metal. Lavelle with a 5. Any chance Cena will win his last match and his opponent will get over without actually going over? A case can be made to have him go out like Sting did. I think Cena would opt to lose. I think Cena is going to opt to lose and do the job. Triple M with a 27 months. Me, you, and Jesse versus Big Show, Sting's son, and Randy Orton in Trials of Osiris. Who wins? LOL. I'll be on D2 this week. Enjoy Arc Raiders. Yeah, bro. I'll be on. Thursday's a good day for me because I have all day to do nothing. We would totally win. I just bring by my Mida multi-tool and just fucking camp in the back of the map. Furious Nation with a $4.99. Even though I won't be at Raw next week at Madison Square Garden, I will, however, be at NXT Gold Rush. Hopefully, it's a decent show, but we'll be repping OTS and TNT. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. That is excellent. It's exactly what I love to hear, bro. Anytime you guys can rep TNT and Off the Script, it is a good night. It is a very good night. Guys, we're about to get out of here, man. I appreciate you all very much. What a stream. Round of applause for you guys. Sting's son is pretty good at Trials at Destiny. Oh, yeah, I forgot he does stream, huh? That's crazy. I forgot about that. Yeah, we'll take him. We'll take him. I'd love to be the reason why Sting's son doesn't go to the lighthouse. Anyway, thank you guys very much for a great stream, man. Best stream in a while here on Monday night. You guys killed it. S Eater Peter with a $5 super chat. I'd really like to see Oba pin Cena in his last match to win the IC title, but unfortunately, that won't happen. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to imagine it. I just don't see, after WWE's been so safe all year, that they take that many risks back to back to back. I don't know, man. Anyway, guys, I'm about to get out of here. Thank you for a great stream. I will be back tomorrow with, of course, Tuesday Night Titans, Solid Monster, and I, episode 120 right here, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You guys know the deal. We'll talk about all the happenings tonight on Raw. We'll talk about the War Games situations. We'll talk about Tegan Nox and Miranda Alizé. We'll talk about West Side Gun getting kicked out of Raw and WWE sending him a cease and desist. We'll give you some preview of Blood and Guts this Wednesday. We got a loaded show. So join us tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Best discussion in the space is TNT. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Leave me a comment down below. And Blue Chew Gold, code JD at checkout, 10% off. Blue Chew Gold. Use that promo code. Want to thank them again for sponsoring the show. And until tomorrow, Tuesday Night Titans, have a great night, guys, and I will see you right back here live on TNT. I'll see you guys later.